The Tomb of the Unknown Soldier is a moving, emotional spot, and members of the elite military unit who guard the tomb 24/7 follow a unique and demanding code of conduct. Tomb guards don't only have to know about the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier, they also need to know the history of Arlington National Cemetery, where the tomb is located. And we're not talking about a quick one-page summary with a smattering of details. We're talking about 7 full pages about the cemetery and the people buried there, including Presidents William Howard Taft and John F. Kennedy.
The original idea for the memorial was imagined as the nation reeled in the aftermath of World War I, with thousands of American troops missing and unaccounted for.
The first military burial at Arlington National Cemetery took place in 1864, which was a tumultuous time. So there's a lot of background to be learned, like the fact that Arlington is on the grounds of Robert E. Lee's former home. Nothing ironic about that at all. Maybe we'll talk about that one day. Let us know in the comments if you want to hear about it. Anyway, the guards are also expected to memorize the locations of the graves of hundreds of veterans. In addition to all of that information, guards are required to learn specific facts about the U.S. Army, and of course, their own specific military unit. During the initial phase of training, potential tomb guards are required to recite all that information verbatim in order to move on to the second phase.
The entire process takes 6 to 9 months with an overall attrition rate of 90%.
The Tomb of the Unknown Soldier honors unidentified service members who gave their lives in combat. Because of the significance and symbolism of the tomb, it's guarded every second of every day, whether it's a scorching summer afternoon or a chilly winter night.
You're constantly looking for anybody that would dishonor, disgrace, or disrespect the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier.
Soldiers began guarding the tomb in 1926 to deter tourists from disturbing the sites, but at the time it was only guarded in the daytime. That changed in 1937, when the Army declared that the tomb would be watched over around the clock.
You get a sliver in the night to guard the unknown soldiers when nobody else is around and America's entrusting you to be there.
The tomb guards keep a rigid schedule, with the changing of the guard happening every 30 minutes in the summer, from early April to late September, and every hour in the winter, from early October to late March. When the cemetery closes for the night, the shift change happens every 2 hours. There's a strict order to the guards' rotation. According to the Society of the Honor Guard, the tomb guards work on a 3-relief team rotation: 24 hours on, 24 hours off, 24 hours on, 24 hours off, 24 hours on, 96 hours off. Needless to say, taking on the position of sentinel demands genuine commitment and dedication.
The Tomb Guard badge is the second least awarded identification badge in the United States Army, only second to the Army Astronaut Badge.
Each part of the tomb guard's precise routine has a meaning. As laid out on the cemetery website, the guard marches 21 steps down the black mat behind the tomb, turns and faces east for 21 seconds, turns and faces north for 21 seconds, and then takes 21 steps down the mat. This process is repeated until the changing of the guard occurs. So why do all of these steps incorporate the number 21? Like everything the tomb guards do, the number 21 has a special meaning. It's a direct nod to the 21-gun salute, a display of high honor and respect in the military. There's a rich history associated with the 21-gun salute, which is used to honor certain notable figures, including the US President and members of the British royal family. The guards, or sentinels, at the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier must meet strict criteria to be selected, like having a clean service record and being in excellent shape. All doable, but there's one requirement they can't control: their height. According to the Arlington National Cemetery website, male tomb guards must be between 5 feet 10 inches and 6 feet 4 inches, while women must be between 5 feet 8 inches and 6 feet 2 inches tall. Yes, that's a super specific requirement, but it's important for the unified look of the changing of the guard ceremony that the guards look relatively similar. The height requirement also extends to the relief teams, who stand guard as the official ceremony commences. Another interesting part of the sentinel's routine has to do with the position of their rifle. Before a guard turns to march down the mat, they quickly and precisely place the rifle on the shoulder that faces onlookers. The reason for this is rooted in the mission of the tomb guards: to protect the tomb at all times. The rifle resting on the shoulder facing the crowd symbolizes the guard's position as the line of defense between the outside world and the tomb. The sentinels protect the tomb from any threat, including tourists who step out of the designated viewing area to get a closer look. Guards also tell the crowd to quiet down if they're too loud, especially during the changing of the guard.
In keeping with the dignity of this ceremony, it is requested that everyone remain silent and standing.
A sentinel's uniform is serious business, and a good portion of their training is dedicated to its preparation and upkeep. Each guard is given 4 dress uniforms and trained to professionally steam press them. Once they're officially tomb guards, they can spend up to 10 hours each day keeping their kit in tip-top shape. from cap to perfectly shined shoes. And just in case someone's tempted to slack off, uniforms are meticulously inspected before each shift to ensure they're perfect.
All of the candidates' uniforms are torn apart and rebuilt from the ground up in order to achieve their standard of perfection.
The reason guards put so much time and care into their uniforms is because of what those uniforms represent, not just to themselves, but to the outside world. In a 2013 interview for Military Benefits, Private First Class Isaac Redman, a tomb guard, said,
"Putting work into your uniforms, getting them good, is just the same as you doing well outside, because it's honoring the unknowns."
It's not only about looking put together as you watch over the tomb, it's about paying tribute to the unknown soldiers who made the ultimate sacrifice for their country. Most members of the military are required to follow guidelines when it comes to their appearance, but rules for the tomb guards are far more strict. They must always be clean cut in order to properly represent the 3rd U.S. Infantry Regiment and honor the tomb. Visitors to Arlington National Cemetery are constantly watching them, after all. But it's not just about a daily shave and slicking your hair back. Sentinels don't go more than 9 workdays without getting 2 haircuts. This keeps their hair neat and helps ensure that all guards' hair is similar in length. Another way the tomb guards show respect for the unknowns is by not wearing anything that reflects their military rank. This is to be sure they don't outrank any of the fallen soldiers who lie in the tomb, in a gesture of utmost respect.
For me, it represents all soldiers past, present, and future, and it states that we will never forget their honor.
A pair of white cotton gloves are a must-have for tomb guards. These gloves aren't just for appearance sake. The gloves are sprayed with water to help guards better grip their rifles and prevent them from fumbling the weapons, or even worse, dropping them during their shift. The dampened white gloves are so important to tomb guards that there's a spray bottle filled with water in a large green box next to the tomb. Guards can enter and spray their gloves if needed, ensuring they keep a good grip on their weapons. But don't worry about them having wet hands during winter. In an interview with the Weather Channel, former tomb guard Herb Smith said that, unlike when he was a sentinel 50 years ago, guards today can wear leather gloves while on duty during the colder months.
And I would have killed for that.
The rifles guards carry as they watch over the tomb are an important part of their overall look, and as such, they need to be in perfect condition without a speck of dirt on them.
When it rains, the weapons, they're highly polished steel. They can rust instantly.
If the rifle is dirty, it could spell disaster for a tomb guard's career. Just ask former guard Ethan Morse about the day he walked out of tomb quarters with a dirty rifle. His staff sergeant inspected the weapon by gliding his white glove over it. When the glove came back with dirt on it, Morse was sent back to the quarters to get a clean weapon.
Got sent back from the inspection block. I was crying. I was at the bottom. I thought I was going to be released.
Morse didn't get released over this incident, but his story serves as a cautionary tale for sentinels. Before you head into the plaza, you better make sure your weapon is clean.